Halo guys, malam Diki. Gimana gambarnya bagus gak guys? Gambarnya bagus gak? Baik. Burik mulu aja. Gimana nanti ya? Belum Ndra anjir. Ndra itu gambarnya udah bagus nggak? Coba lu tes Ndra. Aman gambar ya? Coba. Wah, kalau gambar udah bentar gua nurin dulu layarnya. Masa burik anjir Ndra? Baru udah bagus anjir. Bisa mas. Gua bikin burik nggak? Bukan. Jauh. Agak. Oh jelas. Ada hujan. Bagus.
我何族人？我何族人？
Hemat aja kan. Kalau gue bisa hemat aja. Mereka masih lama. 3 minggu lagi. Suara kecil ya? Suara gua kecil. Udah gua polin aja. Bentar. Suara ya Gimana? Masih kecil gak? Masih kecil gak? Suara gua. Mikrofon udah full anjir, ini dicongor, udah dicongor gua ngomong. Ngopi guys. Ntar 45 KPK kita nonton. Main lah gua juga kan ada. Andra konten macul doang. Terus, Bella udah tipes Bel. Udah mantap ya, udah meredu. Udah bagus bro. Om Hok katanya nge-lag dia. Gua mau persiapan buat Osiris Grandprix ya, mau kita nonton Grandprix. Ende ngebul guys. Oh ini 245 ke sini guys. Ini TR nih. TR gitu. Abah diganti anaknya. Tolong Baba angkat gua jadi anaknya dong. Tempat sepertinya persiapan pingsan ya. Kita lihat apa yang terjadi. Ya, tipes, gejala tipes Om Jiko sepertinya. Sepertinya Om Jiko seneng banget ya. Apa ini Om? Kenapa seneng banget Om? Wah ini belum pakai peredam semua sih guys. Butuh sejuta lagi buat peredam lah gua anjir. Wali ngopi Om. Meriam border gemes. Tenggel dong. Bison udah masa lalu guys. .556 kenapa? Gua pengen lihat 64 gua itu. Pada pindah anjir ini. Muka persiapan apa ya? TR udah masuk ke sini guys. Ya menurut gua untuk One P ya, One P ketemu 556 tuh nggak akan menang One P ya, karena kuantitasnya kalah cuy, kalah jauh. Nah.
20.000 dari Doni 945 20.000 pesan dari Doni 945 pesan Bella Ajaka 945.
Bella itu mau Om Doni, cuman katanya saya di sini jadi queen Om katanya. Itu kotanya juga deket kota saya itu. Ya dengan onep tipes ya itu bagi gua ya guys, kata gua juga membuktikan onep itu nggak keras-keras banget gitu istilahnya ya, masih buka belum alien kan, ibarat kata di bola itu Messi dan Ronaldo itu alien kan disebutnya, sama mereka itu Messi Ronaldo itu alien, sedangkan Neymar itu manusia gitu kan, istilah zaman duluan dikit lah ya, waktu trio MSN tuh. Nah itu membuktikan bahwa onep juga bisa dikalahkan gitu. Itu ya. Jadi onep itu nggak semenyeramkan itu, toh buktinya kalah juga tuh sama Sitpo itu kan. Jadi gitu guys. Jadi kalau nanti 45 ya ketemu onep, ampolin aja tuh opa-opa lah anjir. Bella WM bukan Bella WM pensi kayaknya. Di WM tuh nggak ada yang betah lama kalau cewek itu.
50.000 dari Sudomo pesan ayo om ikut nongkrong om.
Nanti lah Om, saya kebanjiran ini. Saya sih enggak gitu. Ya. Om Jung penjahat malam. Cobain ketemu onep. Jangankan onep 556 aja udah gitu gue. Ya gak usah lah terlalu mendewa-dewakan onep, anjing tipes juga toh buktinya ya. Jadi gua sih udah menguatkan dari sekarang ya, karena cepat lambat karena kita dalam satu kolam yang sama istilahnya Eroka. 45 cepat lambat bakal ketemu onep. Itu pasti. Ya kita satu kolam kok istilahnya, satu kolam ROK gitu. Jadi nggak usah takut-takut banget lah ya. Nang aja, ambolin aja. Sama 556 jadi kawan pernah, jadi lawan pernah. Nah, jadi istilahnya udah tahu lah gitu. Kalau tipes ya nggak aneh gitu. Kalau menang baru orang umum gitu kan. Gitu. Nah itu kingnya. Nah guys yang mau nanyain KPK sama Om Sudomo ya tanyain. Pensi KPK lah, mendingan di skip. Skip aja ya KPK. Nggak guna. Nggak guna juga KPK lah aja. Di Baba katanya dimainin anaknya. Ya gua lihat apa ya, ada yang share gitu di Facebook kan. Justru tapi jangan salah loh, anaknya kan lebih nganggur gitu.
50.000 dari Ziko pesan barisan baru cocok sama siapa om.
Nah itu nggak tahu Om, kayaknya nunggu dulu lah kayak si Plapius gitu kan. Si Plapius sama YSS kok gua lihat jelek sih ya. Ya kayak yang ngeplop gitu.
50.000 dari Doni 945 pesan 50.000 siapa yang mendewakan 945 pesan yuk kita ngopi, siapa yang mendewakan Onef.
Si Mik tuh Om. Si Mik tuh itu mendewakan banget Onek tuh. Kudeta syariah anjir 32 itu. Kudeta syariah. Gua kena kudeta anjir. Kalau Om Jun dapat kudeta beda ya. Jadi udah siap lah ya. Karena yang pertama itu Ya, kalau KPK itu sebenarnya harus siap mental ya. Kalau kita udah ada bibit-bibit kalah nih, banyak kingdom loh guys ya. Banyak kingdom udah kelihatan nih kita mau tipes, udah nggak mau gelut ya. Udah nggak mau gelut. Ya, gua yang lihat yang bagus mentalnya itu emang baru 1254 ya, 556 bagus. 556 bagusnya dia di zona 5 kan kalah tuh. Tapi dia di Kingsland ngegas gitu. Itu berarti mentalnya udah kebentuk ya. Yang mentalnya masih tempe itu menurut gue ya 846 lah. Semua orang tahu dia selalu ngintil ke 93 kan. Karena ya kalau bubar kan si Laguna udah dia istilahnya kalau kalah sih 846 ya. Dia kan diklaim tuh kingdomnya ya. Kingdom terbesar Eroka lah ya 846. Tapi kan pada kenyataannya kalah sama JST dia kayak yang pada migrasi mulai pada goyah gitu kan. Nah kalau 254 itu ini gua gini guys, tandanya ini 254 itu belum full power gitu, full power. Kamu lihat aja dari power si Bani itu. Mengukur parameter 254 udah habis-habisan belum sih? Ya kamu lihat power si Bani gitu aja. Ya gua cari si Bani di sini, kayaknya di sini. Ya kalian lihat power si Bani guys. Ya kalau si Bani udah tinggal 80M itu udah tipes itu. Ya. Si Bani lihat aja powernya udah drop berapa gitu. Ya kalau dia tinggal 80M, 90M, nah itu 254 udah tipes itu. Udah gejala-gejala tipes ya. Tapi kalau 254 masih si Baninya 200, 25, nah itu masih baru turunin kolor istilahnya ya. Masih belum apa ya? Belum full power dia lah ya, si Bani itu belum mode inilah Super Saiyan-nya gitu kan kalau Dragon Ball itu. Kita lihat aja dari power si Bani ya. Nah, ini kan masih ya. Ini masih 300M gitu. Malam guys yang baru join. Oh, selamat malam Angkling. Nah, itu guys. Kalian kalau lihat waktu 945 sama 254 ya, si Bani itu sampai 80M-an mungkin powernya ya. Sampai 80M-an serius guys. Ya. Gua walau nggak war tapi gua ya menurut gua walaupun nggak terlalu war ya.
50.000 dari Dedepil, dari Dedepil. Kapan pesan 949 vs 1500 vs 1664 lagi.
Tolong itu King dijawab King. Guys kalian mau dengerin suara si Bella nih, gua di LKC ya. Dengerin suara si Bella guys. Bella, mana suaranya Bella? Ntar ya Bella nyaut suaranya guys. Bella, mana suaranya Bella? Tunggu ya. Tunggu ada Bella nanti. Jadi ini Kingsland akan sangat seru ya. Akan sangat seru ini layak ditonton guys. Layak ditonton. Ya ini sangat layak ditonton. Pare anjir ini lawannya si Virgo di para mesin. Aduh. Ini seru sih. Kalau cuman nggak ngerti ya power up itu keuntungannya di mana gitu ya, power up gua kurang begitu ini ya. Dengan nge-push gitu kan, nge-push kayak gitu ya. Kayaknya kayaknya power up itu butuh banyak player ya. Butuh banyak player tapi apa emang butuh makteh gitu. Nah gua masih belum ngelihat ramuannya karena belum pernah main ya. Karena belum pernah main. Tunggu aja ya guys. 45 ngambil KPK gurun ya. Halo Mac dulu. Wah ini guys, Fighter 45 udah pada gatel sih. Ya nggak, udah pada gatel sih Fighter 45. Tunggu aja lah ya. Tunggu guys. Nanti kita nonton TR sama apa ya? Sama 60 GT ya? 60 GT sama TR ya. Kita lihat onep sebentar lah. Onep apa itu? Hmm. 556 oke juga. Tapi itu bener nggak sih guys gosip yang Sipo itu mau migrasi itu? Sipo yang mau migrasi itu nggak ada anjir. Ih nggak ada ini. Halo Om Angkling, malam Om. Bang dukung 664 apa dukung TR? Oh gua dukung 664 lah. Bukan udah membanggakan sekali 664 ya dari Grandprix. Ya KPK-nya gua dukung lah ya. Mau gimana pun Kingdom mayoritas Indo itu harus banyak. Ya, suka tidak suka ya guys dengan adanya 664 ya.
10.000 dari Deatme, pesan 1664 vs 1945 dari Deatme, pesan 1664 vs 1945 kapan bang?
Ya tahu. Gini ya guys, mau gimana pun dengan adanya 664, 45 itu terus berpacu untuk memperbaiki diri gitu. Istilahnya adanya persaingan itu bagus. Ya serius. Coba kalau 45 mati contoh ya, 45 nih jadi Kingdom mati lah. 664 belum tentu dia nge-push juga. Anjir ini ya Kingdom Indo yang gede juga gitu kan. Gitu juga sebaliknya. Kalau 664 vakum gitu dengan kalah contoh nih KPK terus vakum terus pada pensi jual akun. Ya 45 juga tentu gua udah Kingdom Indo terbesar kok ini di ROK gitu, ngapain lagi gitu kan. Justru kita malah berpuas diri. Dengan berpuas diri kan kita nggak akan makin bagus gitu. Justru ya itu jangan mati istilahnya, justru harus makin banyak Kingdom Indo itu. Ya biar ada persaingan gitu. Ya. Itulah bumbu-bumbunya ya. Sekarang itu kan akun-akun bagus berdatangan terus kita mendatangkan player spender itu kan terjadi persaingan yang sehat gitu. Ibarat kata partai politik ya, mesin partainya itu bergerak di grassroots gitu ya, di bawah-bawah itu bergerak rekrutmen itu gitu kan. 4, 45 itulah yang bikin Kingdom kita makin besar itu ya. Gua seneng gitu Kingdom Indo makin besar ya, bukan hanya 2 Kingdom itu ya, Kingdom Om Daud Rudy itu 2170 gitu kan, Ragnar 2245, mana lagi ya, ya itulah gitu ya. Kalau 2745 ya gua jualan MGE itu jangan disebut ya.
10.000 dari Samuan, 10.000 pesan dari Samuan, 600 pesan 1694 vs 1900 siapa yang menang?
Gini Samuan, kalau pertanyaan antara 45 dan 664 itu bukan siapa yang menang, siapa yang kuat bertahan lebih lama gitu umur kingdomnya itu ya. Kalau menang kalah kata gua udah beberapa kali kayak pertandingan bola guys.
1 juta dari Jen Angkling, pesan tetap semangat Om Windik. 1 juta dari Jen Angkling, pesan tetap semangat Om Windik.
Semangat Om Angkling. Nah ini gamer tua langsung beli peredam. Ruangan baru belum pakai peredam Om Angkling, makasih Om Angkling. Ya, gua kasih sedikit apa ya, kalau fakta menarik ya guys, gua kasih sedikit fakta menarik tentang Om Angkling ya. Mungkin kalian belum lama tahu. Belum pada tahu ya guys. Mungkin spender juga belum banyak yang tahu. Om Angling itu guys main itu dari awal K45 keluar ya. Nah dia itu sama Goodman itu, ya dia itu pendirinya lah, pendiri TB itu sama Goodman itu Om Angling salah satunya gitu ya. Harus kalian tahu ya guys. Asli itu yang ngerekrut, ya yang kenal ngerekrut awal-awal 45 itu Om Angling salah satunya gitu ya. Kalian yang belum tahu ya guys. Tentu kalau player lama 45 pasti tahu. Nah itu salah satunya. Nah, jadi selama Om Angling masih main ya 45 ngudud aja ya kan. Nah, gitu. Ya salah satu foundernya TB lah di 45 ya. Itu Om Angling guys sama Goodman. Nah itu. Nggak mungkin kan Om Angling pensi mendatangkan akun seharga Camry guys, nggak mungkin lah itu ya, jauh itu ke pensi guys. Biar makin nambah sih sebenarnya ya. Jadi tadi lanjut ya guys, siapa yang menang itu 64-45 itu kayak bola lah ya, menang kalah itu biasa dalam pertandingan bola gitu kan, biasa. Tapi pertanyaannya siapa yang istilahnya bangkrut duluan gitu? Kingdom mana yang bangkrut duluan? Baru itu itu pertanyaan berbobot kalau kalian bertanya seperti itu ya. Ya. Udah mau asli itu maksudnya ya. Kita gini guys ya, rekrut gua kasih tahu sedikit sejarah cara kita dulu ngerekrut orang itu nih gini. Beli akun salah satunya, beli akun Hig Spender nih, player Indo dibeli, suruh pada main gitu kan, gimana ya. Kayak Om Kong ya ke RBR ya, kalau nggak salah dia sampai ke Jogja loh ngerekrut dari Solo gitu. Solo ya Om Kong. Solo apa Semarang sih Om Kong itu? Kayak itulah. Ya. Berbagai cara lah ya. Dulu itu. Jadi kalau pemain lamanya karena perjuangannya berat pasti terus berjuang ya. Makanya gua sangat seneng banget ya. Gua harap Kingdom nah kayak 2518 ya, dia unbeatable sejak KPK 1 Kingdomannya Mas Pur ya guys. Nah kita lihat kiprahnya di KPK 4 kayak gimana gitu.
Dari Samuan 10.000 dari Samuan 60 pesan pasti bantai 600 pasti
bantai
1900.
Oh iya Samuan kita. Oh Semarang ya, iya Semarang ya. Ya, oh itu ada Om Jung penjahatnya ya. Ya Om Kong dari Semarang, Jogja gitu. Beda-beda metode ya. Beda-beda metode ya. Beda-beda metode lah. Ya tentu dalam perjalanannya tentu kan ada clash, itu biasa sih. Gua sih selalu inget ya kata Tanke ya. Yang penting kita masih dalam atap yang sama gitu, atap 45 ya guys. Ya jujur aja gua juga dengan rekrutan gua nggak selalu akur gitu. Ada yang clash ini itu. Gua nggak menafikan diri gitu kan. Istilahnya kan rumput tetangga lebih hijau setelah kita masuk ke itu kan nggak selalu cocok itu. Gitu. Ya. Gitu. Yang penting kan kita masih satu atap di 45 gitu ya kan. Itu. Gua udah seneng lah sekarang gitu kan. 45 makin ramai dengan ya kayak Mr. Win masuk, lalu Ancelku gitu. Tadi itu gua seneng. Komunitas makin kuat ya. By the way, semoga gua kemarin ngisi pom ya, kayaknya gua dapat tanda tangan dari Korbujir guys. Nanti kita lihat ya. Mungkin gua bagikan lah tanda tangannya. Dapat satu kayaknya ya. Gua lalu siapa ya? Siget kayaknya dapat deh ke data. Mungkin Siget itu tuker aja anggur merah ya, cuma berapa sih anggur merah? 70.000 dapat nggak? Ya kayaknya. Oh metode saya sih pakai orang ketiga. Oh McDelug ya. Siho, saya rekrutan dari WM Siho. Cuma ya mungkin di perjalanan ada clash lah. Normal lah ya. Clash normal. Yang penting masih satu atap aja gitu, satu atap 45. Celku. Enggak. Solo leveling gua itu di kredit video ROK-nya nama channel YouTube atau nama gua gitu. Nama channel YouTube atau nama akun gamer tua. Nama channel YouTube atau nama channel akun gamer tuanya. Soalnya artinya itu beda loh, ya. Nama channel YouTube dan nama akun itu beda loh. Tumben streamer gua bagus, kualitasnya. Gua Mbps KB-nya udah 5.000. Wah, tapi hujan gede kan. Neodi mengepus ya guys. Sangat ngeri ini. Ya yang mertua sama game mertua ya. Ya kalau mertua itu kan di game, jadi mungkin mau gua memberikan impactnya di game gitu. Kalau channel YouTube kan lebih ke branding gitu ya. Gitu. Ya gua. Yo yang mau AO nanti nonton ya. Kita sebentar lagi juga nonton Grandprix ya guys. Ya kita sebentar lagi nonton Grandprix ya. Ya alhamdulillah lah 45 ada perwakilan satu ya guys. Yo Series League. Kita lihat sampai sejauh mana gitu kan. Kita lihat sampai sejauh mana 45 bisa berkiprah. Dulu ada satu darah kan. Nah, sekarang ada ini ya. Big House ya. Mana si Belang ada suaranya anjir. Berapa menit lagi? Jam 9 ya guys. Jam 9. Jam 9 guys, jam 9. Nggak bisa dilihat guys. Nggak bisa dilihat guys. Live-nya di sini kayaknya gue ya. Nggak di. Gua di official kemarin nge-lag anjir. Anjir kata gua hujan gede guys. Hujan gede anjir. Di sini pada banjir sebagian, di gua mah enggak. Nantilah di official mah nanti ya. Ya gua tinggal live aja kalau mau di official. Ya. Kita lihat bentar onep ya. Kita lihat onef. Wah udah tipes sih ini onef kayaknya guys. Dapat anjir. Dapat anjir. Gua sih seneng ya banyak YouTuber ROK bermunculan, gua seneng. Gua seneng. Tapi ini gambarnya udah lumayan bagus gak? Gimana guys kualitas gambarnya guys? Nanti kita nonton Grandprix guys ya, kita nonton Grandprix. Ini udah bagus lah ya. Nanti gua naikin lagi bitrate-nya. Udah bagus lah ya. Gua lesehan anjir ini duduk juga. Nggak tahu ini onep kalah jumlah sih. Padahal ya dia koalisi kan Onep itu. Tipes gitu. JK juga tipes. Heran gua anjir. Gak kuat ini ngelawan. Udah gak akan menang ini Onep, serius. Gak akan menang ini. Cuma gambar yang di pojok kurang menarik. Gua itu aja. Gua ini. Gua itu aja. Nus, Janus ini streamingnya udah bagus gak Nus? Gambarnya Nus. Ntar gua frame-nya gua benerin. Gua ganti frame-nya. Dikit lagi nama player masih pecah dikit ya. Entah hujan sih. Anjing. Udah lebih bagus dari itu, official juga gua. Itu official juga pakai gua anjir. Ya abal-abal itu. Ayat jelek ya kalau buat nyari kill, kalau buat ngebab bagus. Kalau buat ngebab bagus guys, ya. Monleg, makasih Monleg. Ayat itu jelek kalau buat nyari kill ya. Ngapain lu F2P ngebab anjir? F2P nggak usah ngebab, biar Sultan aja yang main Trajannya guys. Kita cari kill aja, ngeteng aja. Kalau di 45 kan gua ngeteng itu biasanya di belakang Om Gani, Om Angkling atau Om Ben, siapalah Sultan ya. Om McDeluk gitu. Lu ngintil aja gitu. Ya, lu ngintil aja di belakang kayak anak bawang gitu. Kalau spender baru mereka mikirin ngebuff. Kalau lu nggak usah ngebuff anjir, ngapain kita ngebuff? Ponyok yang ada. Bonyok yang ada. Ya nih Gatra, lumayan lah gua naikin dikit-dikit. Nah, gua lagi bagusin dikit-dikit. Tapi gimana Gatra? Bagus lumayan kan? Gambarnya sekarang lumayan bagus kan? Kita persiapan dulu Grandprix ya guys. Siapa ini? Dan bila esok aku kembali. Kita cari Grandprix dulu ya. Wah, nggak aktif, ininya, Bentar guys. Kita cari Grandprix guys. Bentar ya. Buka-buka dulu linknya.
Of a cast today, so I am very, very excited today. And we
Oke.
are going to be diving in very shortly to check out the teams.
Ada guys, udah ada ya.
Check out and introduce some of these.
Ntar gua tayangin dulu.
Some are new, some are not so new. The players for each respective team, so definitely something to keep our eyes on. And first up, we got JST coming in. Samong, you know, a lot of these names, Mango. A lot of these names should look very familiar. Birdie as well. And you shout out your starting lineup for JST in this match. And your top 5 players and to keep your eyes on, Captain Samong. And then we got Star XOXO Samong as well as one of your key players. And then shout out to our 2 other players.
Yep, and then for 1v, I mean, here's this lineup, and again, as you mentioned, you know, these are champions right here. These 30 players have probably played so long together over the last few seasons, correct me wrong, and then their top 5 players here, you know, Burberry Lover, Ashkandi, Asian Drum, very familiar players on the 1v team, so I think we have experience on both sides, but this is going to be, you know, a very, very intense matchup with some really, really experienced players who know this game mode inside and out. And with all the equipment, all the commanders, who knows what they can do?
Yeah, we're going to be diving right into the match, checking out both of these teams, and then we're kind of just going to start talking a little bit about what we can kind of expect between these 2 teams when it comes to breakoffs. You know, like we said before, keep in mind this code is going to be popping up. Take note of it, get and collect those in-game
Mana
rewards.
ini anjir?
And yeah, as you can see, all of these accounts, as in all of the other teams
Bentar,
as
guys.
well, are maxed accounts out. So all the troops are level,
Bentar.
commanders are level, everything is level across the playing field. It all comes down to strategy. So Redline, if you are JST, kind of, what do you think? You know, we've watched 1v play a ton, right? There's
Ayo.
recordings on them.
Mana gacoan kalian guys?
JST, what's something that you may consider doing to try to throw them off a little bit, you know, off the break off?
You know, the thing for me, I think we might see is how to throw off 1v's timings, right? Because I feel like they're a well-oiled machine.
New V ya?
1v's KVK,
Drian, New V menang.
and their timing and coordination on everything.
Bentar,
is
foto gua harus
so,
ke
like,
pinggirin dulu
and I think JST really needs to find a way to disrupt that by doing something unique or, you know, being one step ahead of 1v, but I really think that's going to be a key play here to really disrupt 1v's, you know, systematic approach on how they address all their objectives. I think that's the play. What do you think? Like, what do you think JST needs to do, in your opinion, to be one step ahead?
See, for me, it's always like pulling out unique strategies. Like we were talking about the gate blocking and doing unique strategies like that in order to disrupt timing. And back to your point, but for me, it's going to be all about JST trying to pull one of these arcs. You know what I mean? I think there's going to probably be 3 arcs in this match, and JST will need one. From previous matches that I know that they've played,
Kita lihat ya.
1v has done very, very well in mid game. And JST
Oke, kita
done
lihat.
pretty well on the occupation, so the outside.
Oh, pantesan Onep tipes lagi KPK anjir.
Sneak one of those arcs, and I definitely think that this first rotation is going to be key to if JST is going to be able to successfully kind of plot against that. I think if you're 1v, you're looking to capture a bunch of arcs.
Kita sambil nobar guys.
You're kind of looking to slow it down a little bit because both of these teams are very aggressive. But the mid game, I think, might be the differentiator and who wins and who loses.
Kita sambil nobar guys.
Yeah, you made a great
All right,
point.
well-
As we begin the match, let's go.
So we should be kicking up with this, brand new feature, the split screen. I love it. It's
Lihat.
so beautiful, Red. I wish, I know Jago and Tis and everybody, we've been talking about it, right? It's just a sweet feature to be able to use.
Kita buat HD dulu.
Kind of really see this breakout between both squads.
Yeah, no, this feature is amazing. Like, you know, different perspectives, different points of
Ah.
views. Like, I love this new mechanic that they're implementing to showcase, you know, all angles of the match. So, kudos to the team for making this happen. But as we start though, you know, normal start. You know, all the obelisk captures, all the rallies are happening at the moment.
New V dari
I think this next 3 minutes
34 juga.
it's gonna be insane. Like who's gonna move up forward, who's gonna take what, like what's the plays here? Because honestly, Boba, I'm sure both teams are looking at the game film from the last previous matches and what other teams are doing. Really interested to see which each team is doing to kind of, you know, say, hey, we saw that on the game film last week. Let's try to do this to kind of anticipate that or prevent that from happening. So I'm really excited to see what happens in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, and we're looking right now. I see the 12
Perpus
rallies
ya,
coming in,
dikeluarkan.
so that's letting us know that they have rallies set on their own obelisk, the opponent's obelisk, as well as some outposts. So we are going to be getting quite a bit of movement up on the map. Traditionally, you know, that's definitely something we're going to keep our eyes on for the gate blocking, because that's an easy way to move a lot of troops forward on the field and then kind of progress and try to slow. So I'm interested to see
Ini
if they're
derby ya,
both gonna do
derby.
it to the respective opponent, and we could have a double gate block very, very soon. So that'll be something to keep our eyes on. Both obelisks are captured, like you said.
Onep
Progressing on the
terus
field,
maju,
both
guys.
teams, we should see some fighting by shrines and altars here very, very soon. What are some marches that you think do ideally very well
Obelisk
off the breakout red?
untuk saat ini masih dikuasai oleh
I mean,
masing-masing
it's all
aliansi ya
about
udah.
speed, right? I feel like there's gonna be you're gonna see a lot of fast cab Marges, Nevsky, Williams. I have maybe XY Hondas, I believe. Guan Scipios are gonna be up here in the front, so I think we'll see a large majority of those.
50.000 dari Deluxe. Pesan buat Marlboro merah minggu ini.
Makasih, Om Daluk. Makasih.
Mantap.
Mantap.
Like each specific march is so key in
Mantap,
integrating
guys.
yourself, like, and knowing 1B and JST, I guarantee you there is some type of spreadsheet out there saying you are using this specific march. Each person is using this specific march, and this is what you're supposed to do. Like, I truly deep down believe that's how these both
PPT ini
teams are being run.
lumayan nggak?
You're definitely gonna see that, man. So you're gonna see a lot of marches here
PPT.
very shortly with a specific purpose.
Halus deh eta kualitas videonya guys, lumayan tuh.
Yeah,
JST mulai memberikan perlawanan ya.
Mulai
memberikan perlawanan.
Wadikap.
Wadikap, bro. Cao Cao ya, udah semua hampir mayoritas menggunakan Cao Cao guys.
And on bottom side, it's the same thing. 1V, it looks like they're going to be pushing up. And with 90 seconds before these
video jarona bakal rada burik soalnya ini kan nge-streamingkan dari YouTube juga gua.
You see how fast 1B got to both altars? Like, look at the positioning right now 1B has on JST. Here, most of the matches have been pretty even, right? Where the advancing team kind of, you know, has the advantage, a little bit positioned, but 1B got there quick, like very fast. Like, and I'm seeing CCs and Minamotos here.
Ayo siapa yang akan menang guys?
Really interesting march combinations on the 1V side.
Yeah, and that's I see some cons in here. Now keep in mind, there has to be a reason for this because they have every single. I just saw a con.
Pada pakai ini ya.
Going in split screen between both altars as oh my goodness. But JST coming out with their full stack marches, and I see a ton of blue. And you know this could be a play.
Ada pakai Cao Cao.
There has to be a reason why.
Genghis Khan masih di mana-mana guys.
Because they're absolutely getting belted in the field right now with the JST marches.
Ayo siapa unggulan kalian guys?
I agree. There definitely is some type of strategy.
Ya 3 Korea versus 1 Eropa ya. Onep, New V, JST dan TR ya. TR nanti lawan Onep. TR lawan 60 GT ya. 60 GT kalah sih. Lawan Nenaf ya. Lawan UV, Halo Om Gumantar. Om Gumantar main lagi Om. Keempat 5 Om.
On that bottom side, but JST holding 3 out of the 4 altars
Janu,
right now.
Cao Cao itu jalannya cepat.
7 minutes you know, Red, when
Om Gumantar, main lagi Om.
you know, trying to properly time that first
Wah, ini ada
rotation
Sultan
in the
guys,
middle,
Sultan top 1
people
power nih
are,
Gumantar guys.
you know, in example
Belum
for
pensi ya.
1v, trying to play catch up right now, potentially losing that first occupation on these altars.
Yeah, and look at the map, right? They lost the bottom side desert altar and their shrine of
Kita
war,
lihat.
and they're gonna get it back, right? Because the refresh times are so short for them. But this is gonna throw off the rotations to mid if JST moves now. Because right now, I feel like at the 6-minute mark, people are probably giving the orders, "Hey, everyone start your rotations middle now." So they are gonna play a little bit catch up, and I feel like 1v may have a little late rotation because they're trying to get these back. So really,
Putri
to
malam
see
put.
if JST is gonna continue putting the pressure on these structures.
Chow masih nge-slow Chow.
Have this advantage right now, but right about time is when you need to think about rotating into the middle.
Chow GK ya.
Yeah, and the interesting part, right, is now this puts
Justice
1v
sih
in a very
biasanya sih
interesting
kedodoran ya
position.
lawan Onep.
With a little less than 6 minutes, you're already looking
Kita
at
lihat
that time to rotate.
untuk saat
The
ini
first
selisih poinnya nggak
occupations
begitu
are
jauh ya.
looking like on those altars, looking like that they're about to get
Selisih
snubbed.
poinnya nggak begitu
JST,
jauh,
which will
694
automatically
untuk
put you in a
JST
deficit
dan Onep
rotating
itu
into the first
694.
arc,
Kita
which
lihat
is worth 3,000 points, but you
selisih poin 8
definitely
poin guys.
don't want to be going in on the back foot for that first arc, putting the additional pressure that normally you wouldn't need. But yeah, this would be around the time that if we are gonna see those
Masa
gate blocks, it would
masa
be
Garrison
happening
Chow
right now,
Minamoto anjir.
as we're rounding out to about 5
Gile,
minutes before that first
gile.
arc's gonna rotate.
There's a lot of Minamotos on the 1v side, and I think it's
Minamoto.
his third skill where it does, I think, 30% additional damage to the target. But
Menurut gua
wow, I
Onep
see Minamotos
mau
everywhere.
lepas APK atau fokus Grandprix gitu.
Money moto.
Manimoto.
Gila sih.
Is
Ya.
it just me or did that Jad not
Minamoto,
look like she was
anjir.
holding up as well as we saw last week, man? Jad
Not like the last
week
one we
looked
saw, yeah.
unstoppable.
Kita lihat ya.
Look unstoppable.
Komandernya pada bawa
And as we
Aet,
see it
Aet
right now,
Rajan
4
guys.
altars blinking in favor of JST.
Aet Rajan
All
kita
the
lihat.
structures are flipping, man. And the only thing that I
Apa yang
can think
terjadi?
of is that could be maybe 1v is in mid, but they are losing all the structures right now.
Ya KPK-nya dan ya jelas lah Drian dia harus milih mau fokus mana.
It's gonna put a lot of pressure on mid.
Chow harus ganti target tiap tiap ngeluarin skill aktif ganti gitu. Ribet sih.
Looks like 1v was able to get the top right altar back to position, but again, JST is running the momentum right now, man. Like with how aggressive they are, and it's gonna be tough for 1v to kind of rotate to middle
Layarnya
now.
pulin ya.
JST already has great positioning.
Nah,
Oh, and that's what makes this even worse. Nobody is in the middle. Wow. So not only are they losing structures, they're not even in middle. And
Rajan banyak yang
that's the
pakai.
insane part right now. Where is everybody at?
Rajan lumayan.
Where are our marches? We're gonna play hide and go seek here in a minute, but the 3 altars have consistently stayed.
Tapi bisa aja menang Om Deluk kalau
About to spawn in 3.5 minutes.
Onep harus milih sih.
And, you
Mau
know,
fokus
this could-
KPK
this
atau
could
Grandprix.
be,
Ya
you
kalau
know,
fokus
an
KPK,
absolute dagger off the rip if
Grandprix
they're losing
lepas harusnya.
structures
Tapi kan
and
ini
losing
main.
this
Tapi
first
ya
arc, 'cause
Onep
that will
justru
give
mentalnya lagi turun
JST,
ini.
you know, the legs
Jelas.
the leg up. you
Mental
know, and
Onep lagi
kinda
turun.
What's kind of the importance of the first arc in your opinion?
Iya,
It's-
Mandawisme. Ya ini kata gua kan
So
Onep
not-
mentalnya lagi turun
it's
ini
not
KPK dia
game
tertekan.
breaker, right? 'Cause, you know, a lot of
Grandprix
times
dia
I've seen teams
tertinggal
with that
1000
TR
poin
as
gitu kan.
well, where,
Lu lihat aja permainan Onep, nggak kayak biasanya loh.
we're on the back,
Nggak sebarbar
we're on the
biasa
back
ya.
foot. We'll stick to structure. So I don't think it's oh my god, we're gonna lose the game if we don't go for the first arc, but it's definitely
Gua Onep.
the momentum is really in the favor of the person who's dictating that right now, and JST is doing.
Jambul, ini streaming gua rada bagus nggak? Ini guys, ini jadi gini ini streamingnya. Ini gua nonton YouTube. Gua nonton YouTube-nya kualitasnya udah HD ini. Cuma gua streamingkan lagi gitu. Jadi pasti kena kompres. Kalau menurut gua mending fokus Grandprix lah. Mending fokus Grandprix. Semua orang bisa menang KPK guys. Gak semua orang bisa menang Osiris. Apalagi Grandprix.
Yeah, and that's a
Yo,
big
Om
one.
Gumantar, main lagi, Om.
Time, like you said, from JST.
Main lagi Om. Nanti akun Ada itu yang Om ngeri. Katanya dilepas 50 ya. Buat Om Gumantar mungkin 55 lah, 5 juta buat saya Marlboro sebulan. Ayo guys, ajak Om Gumantar main lagi guys. Om Gumantar, Joey gitu kan tuh, sultan udah pada sehat-sehat ya guys. Ada Ilham Jai Dekuntu ya. Mekanisme HA yang baru menurut gua banyak ngetrol ya. Gini guys, ngetrolnya itu lu pakai Guan Yu, Harald digebugin, naik kill gitu aja gitu, ngereli nggak sampai digebugin kill lu naik gitu. Deal Om Gumantar. Yo 55.
They have the numbers in my opinion. JST doing the right thing by backing off so they get more marches. So I think 1v counter that first push in the beginning, and now it's pretty good now. So this is a game in the middle.
Lumayan Ham, jang udut anjing.
Yeah, and we're seeing right now JST just took the 1v
sebagai parasit guys.
And you know the play with the Chandra, I'm not sure if the Chandra's going to hold up that long.
Gila, lihat guys, lihat Onep sangat tidak bersemangat sekali guys. Obelsik sampai kerebut loh. Desert Altar kelebut. Gila ini. And as we watch this Chandra ya ini sangat, wah udah emang mental ya guys. Jadi semangat itulah ya guys. Itulah buktinya Onep masih manusia, dia semangatnya masih naik turun sama kayak kita lah ya. Ketika posisi nggak mengenakan kan kita mental turun gitu. Ini gitu. Itulah ya kira-kira. Lihat, oh Desert Altar dapat, Obelsik dapat.
But yeah, you know, we're looking at picture-in-picture right now. Red, that mid brawl is going down right now, and what is it looking like, brother?
Oh man, because in picture-in-picture,
kita lihat sedangkan di lain pihak ya. Terus Jadwi Gadis Swam abis lah.
You know what? One thing JSC did with that was they removed some teleports for people to, you know.
Yang jelek itu Lapius yang nggak tahu kenapa gua guys. Kayaknya Lapius butuh YSS baru deh ya. Kayak kurang deh, sok cobain ya guys, kalian tanyain lah ama yang bener-bener mengerti mekanik commander ya. Lapius YSS kalau di remi gitu, kayak di poker itu kayak ngeplop gitu kartu itu.
Oh, Bomba, they were 1v.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
Ini harusnya main lepas aja sih.
20 seconds off of that obelisk too.
Ya.
Oh man, and so I think
sebenarnya ya, mental yang udah 45 Omek dulu udah mulai bagus. Soalnya gini, 45 kan kalau kalah apapun ya pasti di FB juga dibully gitu. Kalau mental sih menurut saya 45 udah bagus, udah lumayan lah ya. Tapi kenapa Onep ini kayak jatuh banget mentalnya? Karena dia gini guys, Onep itu kan dia mau nggak mau dia itu disandingkan dengan 60 GT gitu kan. 60 GT kan udah terong tuh, Onep itu masih 4 bintang, dia ngejar terong sebenarnya.
Yeah, and that's what makes this interesting, right? We've seen JST, they're doing phenomenal on occupation. On the outside, they were steadily holding 3 out of the 4 altars pretty consistently. As we see that third altar already blinking on the
Jangan
side
lupa
of
like-nya dulu guys.
As JST is, you know, being the aggressor.
Ini game FF
yeah, like you were saying, you know, this arc is worth 3,000. It would essentially null up the game. But if you're 1v, the question always comes in, right? And we always talk about it is, do you need to hold this arc?
Apakah JS Onep bisa memasukkan guys? Sepertinya bisa. Masih terlalu kuat ya Onep buat JST guys. Ini derby ini guys. Derby ini di ROK Korea ini rame. Ramenya kenapa? Onep diundang, JST kagak. JST itu kagak diundang cuy. Lu tuh nggak diajak bro gitu.
Yeah, Red. Yeah. What are you?
Ibarat
What's
kata
kind of your feel on
JST
the
itu
match
lu
as
itu
we're
nggak
watching
diajak,
it? Do you think
bro.
they should hold it? Should they capture
Selisihnya
it?
jauh, cuy.
What's the play here?
3.000.
I agree with your point too. Like I think 1B
Tapi nggak
should
tahu ya,
hold
ini
just for a few
karena aknya
moments to
dapat
reset
sama
themselves,
Onef ya.
because once you have the arc, you can really dictate the timing, right? Like
Bisa.
okay, when are we ready to
Tapi masih
you
dikejar
know,
sama
go for the
Chow-Chow,
next
kita
arc?
lihat.
Okay, let's go for a push. Then once we do that push, then we can turn in the arc. Like
Om komentar
they're
gimana Om?
balancing now
Main
when
lagi
they
lah
dictate
Om.
when the next mid fight
Di
will be
45 Om.
based on when they turn it in. So I agree with your point. Just hold it for now. When they feel they're ready to go, stabilize structures or take structures and then kind of throw off JST.
Comeback lagi lah.
They can turn it in, but the play would be to hold it for just a little bit of time to determine when they're ready to go for that second arc.
Yeah, and right now, this is ideally why you would send one player to come
Gila
and do this.
sekali
Look at the amount
guys,
of
itu
marches
lihat
that's getting
Onef.
pulled for this
Tapi
one arc carry.
masih
The
bagus ya.
honestly,
Seturun-turun
on the
mentalnya
field,
Onef kan.
It's just mind blowing.
60 GT aja tipes sama Onef anjir.
Just like you were talking about on the side of 1v, and it's just
King Bebek
they're
sampai
just going
sekarang
the
belum
speed
masuk
route,
LK.
you know what
Om
I mean?
komentar
It's
itu yang
just
akun King Bebek
pure
atau Om?
speed, and as we jump into this picture in picture,
King Bebek
you know,
960.
we're just looking at, you know, 1v
Ya,
trying to
ya
reset the
bonusnya
field.
ke
The
saya
arc runner
cukup.
is still running and
ALX.
fairly close to the obelisk.
Siapa anjir katanya mau
But,
dibonusin.
you know, the map pressure from 1v is starting to turn the tides a little bit. on
Ilham
the
ini
structure
mulutnya
game
harus
as we see
disekolahin
all the
sih.
blue buildings starting to blink now, Red.
Kita lihat guys, JST makin rame.
This match is getting intense, and it looks like
Pertempuran
GST is
semakin
still
intens.
sending people to go after that arc or disrupt the timings, because right now 1B they did the play where they jumped into a caravan to kind of reset the time.
Dia masukin arc juga
So,
kayak yang
I'm
nggak ada semangat anjir.
Are they gonna turn it
Kelihatan
in
banget
now? Well,
ininya.
that's the thing I'm kind of questioning myself. Like, are they gonna go for the
Kelihatan
turn it
banget,
now, or are
guys.
they gonna hold it off
Lihat.
for a few minutes? Like,
Lihat kayak sayur kurang garam ini Onef guys.
I would imagine
Kayak
that
sayur
they're
kurang
gonna
garam
hold it
ini.
until they can completely kill off these CCs, because you're not rotating to middle with a bunch of CCs.
Gila 960 Kingnya belum masuk
So
LK.
I suspect that they're gonna either bring him back home if they can bring him, if they're set on this
Burik
side.
di tuna monleg anjir.
Reset and look at trying to capture this. You know,
Kalau
I really
wajah
do
gua
think
nama kan
that's
gak
one of
burik
the
anjir.
strongest things,
Ini
facets
burik
of-
dari
of
YouTube-nya,
what
dari
these
sananya
game
ini.
is mid, right? They're very, very good at running those arcs, top tier, along with Song and TR and a lot of those top tier teams when it comes to mid game brawls. And as we look at that question answered, insta captured as it got to the obelisk, and now they're actually took the lead with that one.
Gila ini guys.
oh man, it's gonna be a close game.
Lihat
Okay, so
JST memberikan
it must have been
perlawanan guys.
timing
JST
just
di
right,
mana-mana
because
nih.
There looks like 1B's on the offensive right now. All their marches are moving up, and that call
Gila,
was
gila,
made. Okay,
gila.
infrastructures, because they have like a good solid 2 minutes to kind of really
Nanti
be
Osiris
aggressive,
kita
and
nonton
try
lagi
to
ya.
take some occupation points away from JST, because they're on this, I
JST,
think, 6-minute mark.
Justice, ayo
The calls will
derby
be made to go
ini.
to middle again for the second round.
Yeah, and that timing, it just lined
Berat
up. You know, I know we pointed it
sekali.
out when 1v
Kayak
was
altar
progressing
ya.
on the field, and it's perfect timing. They captured it. Your
Mario
marchers
Brosku,
were already
malam.
forward. They're marching forward.
Guys.
You start swarming all these structures. Regardless, the objective is to try to
Nanti
neutralize
kalian
it.
lihat ya Omek Deluk di KPK guys.
And
Dia
kill
selalu
off their marches,
terdepan.
and then that allows
Nah
the
kalau
opportunity
Omek
for them
Deluk
to come back.
udah di
Fastest
depan,
march
kita
is
ngintil
dead
aja guys
in
di
arc.
belakang, cari kill
And
gitu.
then you just instantly
Biar
start
spender
rotating
yang
back towards middle, and hopefully, you know, if
Timbang ini udah masuk. Omek Deluk ini udah masuk, aknya udah masuk. Udah masuk ini. Cuman ya dari struktur penguasaan emang Onef kalah. Cuma pengalaman Onef menang. Ya.
Oh, man, look at the
Pengalaman,
aggression
Onef menang
from
pengalaman
Minamoto.
guys.
And look at the aggression from the Minamotos. Like
Kita lihat.
I want to
Yang
see if my
terjadi.
team can look at this game film and be like, hey, is that something that we need to do? Because I think the pairing that I saw was Minamoto Ethelfled. So really interesting combination on the 1v side, and I do see GST utilizing Minamoto
Lihat
as well
apa
in
yang
their
terjadi.
combinations. But there's a lot of Chandras, and again, these are all for the debuff.
Emang burik dari sononya guys ini guys.
Again, everything's tailored to have a specific reason for these marches. So, I think that was a Chandra Tomi.
Ya
And
Om
again,
Gumantar
all
emang
debuff.
akunnya
Sure.
komentarnya bagus-bagus gitu
Really
sekarang.
interesting combination.
Ya meta lah ya. Ya tapi bagi Om Gumantar mah easy lah.
Are level across both teams. So being able to strategize different combinations, different objectives, you know, how are you tackling these Jad garrisons? Because from previous matches, I can tell you, Jad has looked
Kita lihat Jadwiga malam guys yang berjoin. Poinnya 11k. Ntar gua bagusin lagi kuat nggak? Kalau nggak kuat meledak ini anjir. Kuat guys. Anjing kuat padahal. Kuat euy. Ini udah paling bagus ya, udah mentok gua ini. Ini grafis gua udah mentok nih. Udah mentok ya, channel YouTube-nya udah mentok di sananya 144k nih. Udah mentok ini, udah mentok. Ulah ngomong deh burik aja. Om Gumantar itu udahlah asal main aja Om Gumantar, asal gebuk-gebukan nanti kalau udah ketemu ritmenya baru gitu. Tolong Sudomo gitu, saya pengen Plapius. Udah diatur gitu.
As we were talking, you know, because right now I think about 30 seconds ago, JST had all 4 altars.
Ini nih SDA kurang, nah hubungi saya kalau SDA kurang nanti patchuler gerakan gitu.
So I'm assuming they're going to try to get there much earlier than they did the last rotation, and it's going to come down to the skill usage. And in my mind,
udah nggak mentok ini guys, anjing gimana lagi gua ini harus. Udah mentok ini kualitasnya. Udah mentok ini ke grafisnya udah mentok.
I don't think we really had a good view
Anjir.
on how the
udah mentok ini grafis. Serius gua udah mentok.
Kind of position in the middle, so I really like to see what that looks like because 1B looks like they definitely took that over.
Oh, udah nggak ngegame ya Om.
And just watching this is, I know for a lot of people.
Padahal ROK itu bisa main casual sih Om. Suruh joki aja gitu. Ada sih joki. Saya juga sebenarnya main game kalau laptop. Saya main game kalau lap doang juga sih Om sebenarnya.
And as we see, we are watching JST. This could be an epic clash between two of the top teams in Rise of Kingdoms.
Udah full ini.
And I'm excited, man. The skills are going to be what for me, what sets it. If a team early pops, you know, Heaven's Grace, do you early pop? You know what I mean? The skills will make or break this next rotation, and I'm very
pull gimana
who's actually going to pull this out as we look at the score right now of a difference of 200 points, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all are excited. Red, you're excited. 3 minutes before the second arc rotates in. Man, I'm excited to see who's going to be the aggressor in this situation. I really do feel like it's going to be JST, which is very uncommon because 1V is usually the one in the middle that's kind of bullying. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Ini udah mentok
right now. Like, see now JST's, you know, going for that Shrine of Ward, and if you look at the little mini map, also the JST Shrine of Ward also blink. So both teams are
udah mentok ini guys.
You know,
udah nggak bisa lagi anjir.
Give one another a slight advantage in the middle. So let's see if one of those.
Udah mentok kualitas di sononya udah 14460 gua.
Well, I'm really excited to see this mid fight and see how both teams are gonna brawl it out, man. It's gonna be
kayaknya ke kompres
in 30 seconds. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be next level 100%. And one thing that I do want to note, and I do like when I saw it with 1V is
saya jokiin aja Om Gumantar, mau saya Om.
And bring those additional 5 marches. Well, it doesn't seem like much, right? And
legenda guys. Kalian lihat ya guys, yang konten gamer tua yang top power ROK Indonesia ya. Nomor 1 itu Gumantar guys ya. Yang kedua tuh ketiga Om Jowi kalau nggak salah. Ketiga Om Ben, Om.
So we're gonna keep an eye out. Usually when this happens, one of the teams will move to one side or the other. That way it avoids their team being split as they start to run around the structure. I have a feeling it's going to be JST that runs to this bottom side, but I'm going to keep my eyes on it. Who do you think? What do you predict is going to happen here, Red?
Emang ada 4K?
Dude,
gua kagak nyampe 4K anjir. Nah ya, ini harus dimodalin Sultan sih guys.
Because I feel like 1V
nanti dikit-dikit gua update ya.
I don't know the density of the marches.
Udah Om, saya pindah ruangan ini.
It looks like 1V has an advantage in the middle based on the
ya DXID itu juga masuk ya. Masuk itu.
With the minute left.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We got a minute before it pops. Skills.
Ya itu terakhir Om Gumantar main itu guys sama gamer tua di Olympia ya, sama si Regi itu, sama Joey. Kalian lihat aja videonya ya.
Between these two teams, so whoever engages first, I'm gonna predict the person who's not the
Kita lihat
aggressor
siapa yang
will
akan
probably be the
memenangkan
one
guys.
that's gonna be popping
Lihat
Heaven's Grace
marderbalnya
as they
Wanpil
get
lebih bagus
kind
ya.
of swarmed in. And 1v
Ini serius,
pop in a missile
sampai 4K
already,
ini.
but they haven't pushed. JST pop it both, and as I say that, both pop skills before engaging.
Ini kualitas
Or
gambarnya
Green
sampai
pop
4K di sananya.
inside of JST, 1v popping it as well, and the battle
Redam
for the
kode.
mid has begun. Red.
There they
Mau
go.
cobain ada redam kode emang.
Oh man, here we go.
Kita lihat.
Ladies and gentlemen, who is gonna come out on top? Is it gonna be blue on the JST side or
Ya
is it
kita
gonna be
lihat.
red on the 1B side?
Ya apakah yang akan itu nge-lag guys, lu lihat. Server lilitnya
Heaven's
aja
Grace
nge-lag
on the
tuh.
1B side there, Boba.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Ya,
I knew they were waiting for them to
Self-reflection.
pop
Lu
it
lihat.
first. Self-reflection. Yeah, it's usually.
Yep,
Yeah,
self-reflection.
ironically, the
lu lihat tuh
the
server
team that
lilitnya
usually
nge-lag.
pops it,
Laptop
dude, we got
komputer
flashbang
lilitnya
right there.
nge-lag. Ya,
Usually what happens is the team that pops it
lihat pertempurannya
after
guys.
is usually the one that does fairly
Nggak
well.
kuat
So it's going to be
lilitnya juga.
interesting to see how JST does in this regard.
Gila
As we
nggak tuh?
look at the dots, there's so many players all in one spot. The battle is ensuing. Arc is being run by 1v
GG.
1B.
right now on
Yeah.
the side of red.
Oh man. Oh, here we go. Okay, it looks like they picked it up on the JST side, or I think JST had the first touch. Boba, the carrier died, and then 1B was able to touch it
Itu
afterwards. so
jadi
I
lu
think
mau
that's why it's
sebagus
pushing up there.
apapun PC lu,
So
tetep
right now it's
gitu.
kind of the advantage JST.
Itu emang dari
their side,
servernya.
and it looks like
Lu mau
JST
beli
does have to pick up.
komputer 300 juta, 400
Further
juta
back,
juga
you
ya.
take it closer to your home base, the easier it is. So I think the call should be
Lilitnya
still
aja
to
nggak
go in the
kuat,
middle.
apalagi laptop gua yang
Look at the sad
abal-abal.
faces on the JST side.
Look, it's just non. Oh, and just
Kalah
like
guys,
that,
Marder
as I
bal
say,
onep nggak ada obat.
Oh, Betty.
Marder bal onep nggak ada obat su.
God.
And just like that,
Bener-bener
dude,
nggak ada
all
obat
red
Marder bal onep.
has surged forward. They ain't
Nggak
bringing
ada
CCs to
obat.
middle. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing the typical XYs, Budakas, Nevskis coming out as well, and a ton of
384
battles
coba konteks
as they
semi
pick
ya.
up this arc,
Konteks
and
semi.
1v
Arc-nya
is
berhasil.
now running it back.
Gila ini
And this
Marder
arc's worth 3,500 points, Red. So it is going to put him up by
nggak tahu
just
pakai
that.
equip apa ini.
So now is the time for JST to start
Guys,
fixing
kalian
as
cari
they
equip
are
itu
focused.
ya
If we
guys
look
yang
at the map,
nge-buff.
3 out of the 4 altars
Cari
are in
aksesoris
favor of
yang
JST.
nge-buff pasukan sekitar
So,
itu.
you know, they
Cari
are
itu.
at least going to try to pull that lead back a little bit with the arcs, and they are continuing to rotate towards
Clear
middle.
ya. Gila itu.
Man, I don't like this play, Boba.
Ngeri gua lihat
I
lihat
feel
Marder
like-
bal JST itu
I feel like
bersih
you
loh.
Kind of shift your focus and go straight for structures.
Gila nggak?
I mean, actually, if they can stop this, I don't know, because what if he has a
Bisa
huge
bersih gitu
presence
ya?
in the middle, and people
Nggak
who are
ngerti
going for the
anjir.
arc carrier is gonna get mowed down in the gauntlet of fire. So if they can get this stopped, then you know, if they can continue to
Kagak
test this,
ngerti gua.
great. Like how far it is in the map now on the 1B side,
Kagak
that's gonna be
ngerti.
tough, man. And 1B
Yeah.
has those shrines.
Yeah, and I agree with you. The one saving grace is this
Agak
arc is
ngerti gua
moving to
serius.
this choke point. I call it a choke point right here,
Gila
where all
ini,
these
guys.
lines are vectoring on the bottom right. And that is one of the hardest positions, running charge, and that is what I was waiting for.
Gila ini.
That would be the only reason that I would have resent back towards mid is if
Kita
you were gonna
lihat.
pop a skill like running charge, come and absolutely choke out this arc right here in this choke point here in a second. As you see all these fast marches, you should see some collapsing from the top side. I've never been a huge fan of collapsing all from middle, but yeah, as we say that, look at the lines coming in from the top side, coming in for this arc. Rally should be set. Swarm should be on this shrine as well, as we see all the structures
Horn
in
itu
blue
ke
blinking
individu ya?
on the map,
Oh, here we
Red.
go.
Vendetta.
There's a
Coba
collapse,
cari
yep,
lu
there's a collapse
bab
too,
yang
so
ke tim.
JST is setting from the outside.
Apa bab yang ke
So
tim
that's
coba?
good. So like they'll kill the carrier. Now,
Siapa yang dukung
the play
JS Tembul
for
anjing?
JST is it one just delay it, like, cause if if JST can take that shrine and drop it in there, a huge win.
Lu nggak usah Malboro,
That's
Bu.
risky play. But they're definitely setting full. But they're definitely setting full sense in the middle for this arc, dude.
If I had to guess, I would say at least one more. But right now,
Kita
by them
lihat.
installing this, it actually is helping JST because of this points per minute.
Ini dikit.
Of points that 1v is going to get from this arc, which is helping JST, right? Even if they lose
Lihat
this arc,
lihat
by
Battlefield
them constantly
Onep guys,
holding
ini harus
Imperial
dipelajari
for
banget
altars,
guys.
you're gonna consistently make those points up
Guys,
and up and
kalian yang
up.
lagi main
As we look
yang
there,
mau
almost
yang masih
1K
main
up
Osiris League,
in favor of JST.
lihat
This arc's
permainannya.
only worth 3,500 points. So even when they capture it, you know, hopefully this stops a little bit of the
Pokoknya gini ya, itu kan ada si
but
Mr.
as I
Nena
suspected,
TV
I don't
Gaming
think
tuh.
1v is
Mr.
gonna hold
Nena
this
TV
arc. I
kan
think
player
they're
Onep.
gonna need arcs
Nah,
in
gua
order
kasih
to
tahu
beat
caranya.
JST.
Lu lihat dia
And
ketika
this is
lagi
an effort to
streaming tuh kan dia
stall,
lihat
in my
Commander
opinion,
tuh.
not necessarily to try to
Minta
sneak or
dia
capture.
liatin equip.
But
Ya,
yeah, we're gonna keep our eyes
liatin
on
equip
that for
satu
sure.
equip siapa yang dilihatnya? Satu equip si Guan Yu ya, dia si Guan Yu-nya pakai apa tuh? Aksesorisnya itu ikutin si Guan Yu-nya. Yang kedua si Nevsky-nya gitu. Ya. Guan Yu, lalu si Siang Yu-nya, lalu si Nebu 2. Dia JS Onep itu rata-rata pakai 3 itu. Sisanya nama sesuai kebutuhan. Kalian ikutin ya. Itu aksesorisnya itu pasti paten ya. Si Guan Yu itu yang nomor 1 sih si Guan Yu-nya. Karena silentnya itu gitu kan.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Look at the March selection once again from 1v. The amount of CCs in here
Lihat itu.
is just unreal, bro. Just so many.
Nggak
of them.
kuat JST
You
guys.
can't blink
Nggak
without
kuat,
seeing
lihat
a
itu
full
bangunan
set of
JST.
CCs all over the place.
Kayak altarnya dapat semua.
Look at all the Jad Attilas on the field now. Minas, just unique combinations as a core, as a group being shown on the side of 1v.
Nggak kuat.
And just as we say that, it looks like the
JST
final
sangat
JST
kewalahan,
marches
lihat.
for the
Trend of
for the
War-nya
destruction
dapat,
are getting melted
sedangkan
out. We're gonna
Onep
keep our
Desert
eyes to see whether
altarnya
they're gonna
lepas.
insta-capture this,
Kayak
which it
altar
looks like
JST
they
dapat.
are, or with the timing being what it is, I would probably insta-capture this, just forward send all your marches and
Nggak
kill
akan
them
kuat.
off, and then the rotation is back in your favor again.
Ini kayaknya harus
on the side
diikutin
of
guys
1v.
ayat Rajan ya. Sultan-sultan yang punya ayat
but
Rajan guys.
Red, third arc, we've already seen Heaven's Grace from both sides. What are you kind of expecting for this third arc?
Oh, dude, 2 to death for both, dude. It's
Gila
gonna be the
sekali,
wild, wild
guys.
west in the middle. Because I think 1v does want the third arc, and oh my gosh, that third one's gonna be insane. But I definitely will. I think we're gonna see to death on both sides. If they have enough skill points, 2 to death, and maybe let's go formation.
Pelajari itu
So
aksesoris ya.
we'll see what happens. But interesting enough,
Si Ayat nge-slow kan?
the
Gua lupa lagi sih,
1v
itu
player
kalau Ayat
was
Saladin tuh yang
forced
nge-slownya itu si Ayat sih Saladin sih.
I don't know if you saw that.
Ayat Rajan
but,
ini
like,
ya.
were they purposely trying to
Cuman
get
itu ya
kills
guys,
so
kalau
never
F2P nggak
reset?
cocoknya Trajan itu. Ya
That
itu
could be.
ngeteng doang
It
gitu, nggak
could
ada
be a
kill.
thing, 'cause it will-
Kita
once
kan
they drop
pengen
it,
kill gitu.
see
Ya.
if it's gonna-
Ini emang
And
yang
this is where the kind of the
yang
game in the
fokus
game
ke
comes.
Trajan
There you
itu
go.
ya.
They let 'em
Satu
touch it,
dia
now they're gonna
udah
melt
mikirin
them.
tim, 2
It's gonna
spender
reset to
dia
15,
mau
and
fokus
might just
Osiris
play
gitu.
two arcs,
Emang
which
Onep
if
cocok.
you're 1v,
Player-player
I'm not a
Onep
huge
punya
fan of.
Trajan tuh
They
cocok.
haven't they
Ya kalau
been able to
macam gua
really
ya
make a dent in
daripada Trajan
occupation.
gua mendingan
And I've consistently seen,
apa ya, mendingan
you know,
itu.
JST
Mendingan
dominating
si
on the
Scipio
occupation
gua.
side. So
Ya.
interesting play.
Orang itu
from the
udah
side of
Trajan,
1v.
udah Honda gitu kan, Sultan-sultan
And,
itu fokusnya
we're
itu
gonna see if it's
udah
gonna
nggak
pay off
udah
for 'em
beda
as-
kelas.
as, you know, as the lead continues to grow, or it actually is decreasing.
Ya,
But the points
ya
per
Om
minute
Komantar.
still in favor, almost double in favor of JST.
Yeah, it's
Guys, Om Komantar ini selain Higgs Spender juga dia mekanik ke ininya bagus ya guys. Mekanik ke permainannya bagus ya. Jadi sangat mendetail sekali.
2K difference, right? God, it's so close, man. And again, I felt like 1v was so
Beda-beda
dominant.
yoga itu beda-beda.
Like,
Ada yang ke
Warrior
si Attila buat nggak di swam kayaknya ya. ada yang bawa si Honda, ada yang bawa si Trajan, itu beda-beda. Itu ada fungsinya masing-masing kalau Onep itu. Lu lihat aja. Kalau yang bawa tumbak itu belakangnya si Trajan, si Honda itu. Lu lihat. Tuh, AET SS pun ada tuh. Jadi player Onep itu si Hondanya itu dibagi, ada yang ke si AET, tuh ada sama si Trajan itu, ada yang ke si Hondanya ke si Xiang Yu ya. Itu beda-beda. AET slowin masalah di nggak pantas sih.
That we will see insatiable desire at some point getting popped from both of these teams, and it could come down to the wire for that. And if you know on the side of JST if they are
400M dibakar buat apa anjir?
Additional marches to go provision to try to increase that lead. And now in this picture-in-picture we see the bottom side altar
selisih.
getting
Lihat
swarmed
guys,
down as JST is trying to
artnya berhasil dipegang oleh JST guys.
So that should go down, but all four altars are in
Arknya
favor
lepas.
of JST right
Arknya
now.
lihat arknya guys. JST belum menyerah loh.
This lead with the idea that they probably will lose this arc.
Gila, ini main ngebab loh, main bab loh. Lihat itu arknya dan anjing JST bisa direbut guys. Babnya direbut JST. Lihat. Gila, ini mental JST emang ada obat anjir. Lihat arknya, lihat arknya. Belum bisa dimasukkan, diambil ke tengah sama JST cuy. Ngeri ini, ngeri perebut arc.
Dude, and I like it. Look at what JST's doing. They're running, they're literally picking up and just dragging the arc. The arc back. It was out over here. They just keep picking it up and running it back. You know, but with a 1K lead in favor of JST right now.
Malam.
3,500 points. So it would put 1B in the
ini
driver's
Wawan
seat
player
with
lama pada
2,000
kembali
points in
lagi
their
kayaknya
pocket.
nih.
But the altars,
Gila,
I cannot keep reiterating are constantly in
artnya
favor
berhasil
of
guys.
JST. The only reason
Selisih
that I can
2000
think
guys,
of
arc
that
terakhir
this points per minute is not drastically
19
more
menit
is
kayaknya
that 1B is
bisa arc
doing a
terakhir kalau ini
phenomenal job
dimasukkan.
in
Ini nggak akan dimasukkan
neutralizing,
oleh Onep ya.
those structures before they
Kalau
took over in
dimasukkan
favor of JST.
nggak tahu
But,
dah.
you know, we're gonna keep our eyes on it. The arc runner is
Arcnya nggak dimasukkan guys. Sekarang mau adu mekanik di bangunan. Kita lihat di SS. Sama siapa nggak kelihatan ya SS sih? SS sama Theodore ya.
I mean, it's like, as you mentioned, it's going to be a 2-arc game, right? I mean,
Theodore ya, SS Theodore.
yeah, if they turn in now,
Lihat.
there's not going to be another
SS
there's no third
Theodore.
arc, so it's going to come down to the structures of provisioning, man. And I think we're going to see
Gila,
such
ini lihat.
aggression from both sides.
Set altar JST di swap.
On the 1B and JST, and as we look at the map
Nggak
right now,
akan
1B
kuat.
is going hard on this desert altar. And literally
Set
everything
altarnya
on the
nggak kuat,
blue
cuy.
side of the map is blinking. 1B is going hard. So we'll see. I think JST is going to have to hold here and then try to make up the point difference.
Wan kalau mau main lagi ada akun tuh gua Wan 55 72M 5 juta aja. Gila. Itu apa yang terjadi? Gila anjir ini. Arc ditahan ya. JST harus bisa selisih 3000 poin guys. JST harus bisa selisih 3000 poin. Apakah akan bisa? Apakah akan bisa guys?
And then kind of seal the deal with the provisions. But you know, JST are able to bring this back.
Apakah akan bisa? Sepertinya tidak guys. Ada yang bawa tomiris. Siapa itu yang bawa tomiris anjir? Ya anjing, komentar Archernya nggak ada tapi tomiris di bawah nggak ada otak anjir. Ya, ngebabnya udah pada nggak masuk akal guys. Ya, soalnya kan ini super akun ya, 400M nggak semua dikasih super akun. Nah, makanya pokoknya gini guys, ya kalau lu pakai akun untuk Grandprix dan kembali ke akun lu itu, dia anjir.
That aggression, man, is keeping them in the game with this arc in 1B's possession.
Meta pairingnya, equipnya itu nggak orang umum gitu.
I want to say that JST have learned when we saw that epic ending from last season's grand finals with JST, and I believe it was 60 GT. with the last like 30 seconds left. We had the provisioner coming in and
Lihat
just
lagi
missed it
apa yang
by the
terjadi.
hair
Harpus di
off the
sana.
top of his head. You know, so
Harpus
I'm
di sana
suspecting that
dikeluarkan,
JST
di
learned from
Swam
that. The
dapat
provisioner should be
sepertinya.
very, very solid as
JST
we see
luka
hard push
mengeluarkan
getting popped from both
Harpus.
sides.
Di Swam
And that's
nggak
definitely
dapet
something
guys.
we're gonna keep
Susah
our eyes
sekali
on as we see
saudara-saudara.
this lead just continue to kind of pace out. And you know, 3 alters once again in favor of JST. I suspect they all
All 4,
haven't ticked
Boba.
over yet. All 4.
But they
Oof.
did hard push too. Ooh, both sides popped hard push. So
Kita
with all
lihat
4 alters, if JC can hold this, they'll obviously have that huge point advantage in the point per minute. They're definitely canceling this. They're getting closer to canceling out this arc because we have 16 minutes left. 1v is still holding on to it, and why them turning it in? It's going to only be 1,000-point game, maybe 1,500-point game. So JST is doing what they need to do to offset the points.
jauh Datu, gua jauh anjir.
Man.
Nanti ada kopdar gabungan lah.
Oh man, are we
Ikut gua.
queuing up for an epic
Jauh gua ke
finish
Jakarta
as
6 jam
these
anjir.
ultras continue to tick in favor of JST. We're looking at the lead increasing to almost
Nantilah ya.
2,000 points.
Nanti mungkin habis
1v
KPK
does have
gitu
that
di
arc in
mana.
their pocket, but you're
Di
seeing
Bali
that
mungkin
lead
ya.
like the arc becoming less and less valuable as the time goes. And JST are doing what they need to do. These Jads are holding up phenomenally again.
Senju baik Senju.
And you know,
Senju,
it's all gonna come down to the wire.
Lu
with
kalau
15
MGE
minutes.
jangan ngelanggar anjir, malu-maluin gua lu.
Man, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Bikin orang malu aja lu itu
Like,
anjir.
You know, 15 minutes left. in the
MGE
game, you
pelangap
have a good
longo
idea,
aja kalau
like,
di
you know,
45 tuh Senju.
who might have the slight edge and
Anak
take
lu
this dub up here.
aji.
These 2 teams, man, they're so good at what they do. I have no idea. Even with that arc in their back pocket, man, I have no idea because how
Gila
JST has been
ini.
doing on the structure game.
Anjir, grafisnya udah mentok
Now
guys.
the question is, like, you know, would a third arc make a difference? But we'll see that in the next 14 minutes.
You know, and I think they got to that kind of awkward zone, right? Because if you capture right now 14 and a half minutes left,
Apa
you
yang
got an
terjadi
8-minute
di
timer that leaves you
sini?
about 5 minutes.
Struktur. Guys,
You know,
selisihnya
left.
udah 2000
I'm not
guys.
sure-
Ini
I'm
JST
not
bisa
sure
menang sih.
if I'm comfortable, you know, putting your team
JST
where you're
bisa
supposed to
sih.
rotate.
Hak
And
dimasukkan
that's kind of
24.
that awkward position. And I
Bisa
think if they
sih ini,
wanted a
guys.
third one, it should have been around the 20-minute mark. To leave
Bisa,
you enough time to capture
Apa yang
a
akan
contested
terjadi
arc, which we
saudara-saudara?
did see, and we casted over one of those, right? Where they captured it late, and it was like, what, 12 minutes, you know? or
Putra, malam
it was
Putra.
like 15 minutes left, and I told you all it was way too short of a time for a contested arc, and they narrowly lost because the arc they just didn't have the extra couple of minutes that they
Apakah
needed.
yang
So
akan terjadi?
I think that we're not gonna see a different
Arknya
one.
nggak dimasukin
but
anjir.
1v are starting to slowly rein him in a little bit. That lead is not growing anymore.
Kalah si JST.
But you know, it kind of stalled out.
Kalah ini JST
we're gonna keep our eyes on it.
selisihnya
I
nggak
suspect
terlalu jauh ya.
JST, their troops are resetting, and then
JST
we're gonna
harus
see,
menang dari Macul ini.
more aggression towards these ultras again.
Semoga arknya lupa
Yep,
dimasukin
and
ya.
Look at the map too. You know, 1v is definitely going for those outposts. Also, so every point counts. Like it's coming down to the wire here.
Wan, 25M
And I
lu
think
buat
it's gonna come
Macul
down to the
anjir.
provisions now, Boba. Based on what I'm saying, like who is gonna pull in more provisions? Because I think before provisions come in, it's gonna be less than a 2,000 point game.
25M mah buat
Provisions
Macul aja.
Might dictate who is gonna be the winner here. If the structures
Tupi, lu
continue
ngantuk
going
gitu.
the way we're seeing it, we're flip flopping back and forth.
Yeah, and within like the 10-minute mark, I suspect that we're going to see Insatiable Desire get popped from probably both teams. I think they'll have at least one pop for it, and possibly an increase in
lihat.
provisioners, the amount. If you're
Masih ada
JST,
12
you
menit ya,
already
guys.
have to kind of be doing that, unfortunately, because you have to slowly start reining them in. And, you know, but on the side of 1v, as we see picture in picture with some of the provisioners, they are sending more out.
12 menit,
This
lihat
is where
rally
those come in. If you aren't the normal
JST
provisioner,
strukturnya
right,
lebih
it's all
banyak.
about speed, right? You want to utilize those cav as opposed to siege because
Si Kuntul Senju itu, Bul.
as fast to those
Jero
nodes
aja
as
dia.
possible and not necessarily trying to be out there for 50 minutes. So we're going to keep our eyes on that for sure. 3 altars out of 4 in favor of JST once again, and the
Kita
lead
lihat.
is 1400. So they are bringing it with yeah 1700.
close, man.
So the altars are ticking. They're ticking. Oh, red.
Dapat guys.
All the outposts on
Tikus
JFK
iya jelas
side
ya.
are the ones blinking, so like they're definitely going aggressive on these outposts as well, and all the structures are literally blinking. Oh man, this is getting really too close.
24, 25, ini harus 26 ini. JST harus selisih 2 bangunan ini. Ya, JST harus selisih 2 bangunan baru bisa menang ya. Ini kalah kalau kayak gini. Karena arc itu poinnya sekitar 3000 guys. Arc itu ya ibarat di Mobile Legend itu Lord itu.
But man, with the last 11 minutes left, Boba, I don't know.
Arc itu ibarat
I
Lord
have no
ya.
idea.
Desert Altar terus dikontes oleh JST, gila JST ngotot banget mainnya
This is
guys.
where we get into that moment of
JST kalau nggak bisa ngalahin Onef di Osiris League ya kayak gini di Grandprix ya dia akan selalu dianggap aliansi nomor 2 di bawah JS, di bawah Onef itu JST itu.
You need to hold the structures to have them tick over, right? Neutral structures in this
JST akan selalu dianggap aliansi nomor 2.
falls in favor of 1v even if they never hold the structure because that timer reset when it switches hands, nobody is earning points for those structures. And if you are trying to decrease the lead on the side of 1v, that is a W right there. You know what I mean? If you're a JST, you're really trying to hold them, and even with hard push, you know, you still are going to have that time before you can start getting points on those structures, right?
Nanti jam 18.
Okay, and you know what?
Malam
By
jam
not
2
having a
mungkin ya.
third part, remember we said we thought they'll have like, you know, both will
Jam
have
1 malam, jam 1
death,
malam.
right? How many
Kan
skill
molor gua.
points is that? Is that 12 skill points? I could be completely wrong because I'm not the skill guy, but you know, it's a
Kita
large amount
lihat.
of points. So now they have all these points available for them to utilize to defend these structures, to take structures. So, you know, they have
Strukturnya.
many options at their disposal.
Papa kayaknya pensi akunnya dimainin anaknya.
Yeah, and that's kind of something. And you know, and at this point, you know, I'm surprised we haven't seen any like Valiant stands. Like if you had, well, they might not even have it checked, but the altars become the name of the game if you're
Lihat,
JST,
guys.
right? The outposts are, you know, they are a nuisance, right? And yes, if you allow your opponent to tick, that's 240 points that are swinging in their favor. But
Ini
the
struktur
name of the
JST
game was
kurang
the
satu
Desert
ini.
Altar.
Kalau dapat
You know
satu
what I mean?
struktur lagi bisa menang ini.
Those are the highest scoring structures per minute.
Selisih mau 3000 cuy.
Outside of the arc itself.
9 menit
There
lagi.
we go. Just like you said, insatiable desire.
9 menit lagi apakah bisa 3000 cuy? Ayo.
In probably about a minute, and it's all going to come down to that as we look at but just look at the points per minute, Red.
3,000 points.
Look at the score.
Selisih udah 3000 guys.
JST did a good
Bisa
job
ini.
at minimizing
Arc
the amount of
dimasukkan, JST
point
masih bisa
differential
menang.
It's gonna be once the arc is turned in. So,
Arc dimasukkan JST bisa menang guys.
It's gonna be with that less than a
Wah
1,000
tapi
point
ini
game.
dapat arcnya euy.
That's what I'm feeling.
Pak
That's what I
jelek
see.
ini.
Yeah. And this is where it depends on how much JST send out to provision, right? I don't think
Jelek
a
ini, guys.
normal 5 March is going to do it in this situation. I think that they're going to need more and more people.
Ayo.
If they had done it earlier, it might help. We're pretty late in the game with 8 minutes left. You'll still get a little bit, but it won't be very much. Unless you're sending a lot of your
Ayo
team to
JST,
send at least 1 March to
tunjukkan kalau
provision.
kamu bisa.
You may be able to reel in an extra 500-600 points in the last 8
Ketiganya
minutes,
masih
but
sangat tanky
you
sekali
know,
ya.
it's gonna truly come
Dapat
down
ini.
to the wire, and as we say that, they captured the arc. They are only up.
Selisih
by 800
hanya
points, Red.
Oh my god. And 1v has
300
4
ya.
altars now.
Gila.
1v has 4
Gila.
altars.
1000 selisih 1200 guys.
They are doing what they can
Selisih
to still lead by
1200
any-
apapun bisa
any
terjadi.
bit right now because I can only imagine the points per minute are in favor of 1v.
Selisih 1200. Kita lihat apa yang akan terjadi guys.
Chat, it's gonna, dude, Bulba, it's gonna be less than a 1,500 point game. I think it's gonna be less than 15, maybe less than 1,000.
Selisih 1200.
And we're gonna come back
Oh
to
my
this over and over, and I see it in chat, right? 1v clearly dominated mid, right? They pretty much flushed them out every time. And the fact that we only had 2 arcs might come back to bite them. You know, that third arc would have been worth 4,000 points, and they had 30 minutes. Almost, well, it's a little bit between
Abang ngapain
25 to
sih?
30
Cuma
minutes
dia
that they
akunnya
would have
dimainin
had for that
anaknya.
arc. And now we are neck and neck. They're steadily
Selisih 900,
reeling in
6 menit
that
lagi.
advantage, so
Ini
it
masih
is
ada peluang.
closer to about 1,000 points now. But that could also be in due in
Masih
part
ada
of some of the
peluang untuk
provisioners
JST
possibly
ya.
coming in.
Kalau Ark udah nggak
But
bisa,
with
Ark udah nggak
6.5
bisa didapat.
minutes left, this is where
Gila
the
ini,
neutral game
guys.
that we were talking about is going to come into play, even with hard push. You're trying to flip as
Lihat.
many of these structures into neutral as
Gila ini
possible,
siapa yang bisa menang
especially
cuy?
those high scoring ones, Red.
Man, for the next 6 minutes, we're gonna see a lot of, actually the next
Ini
5
kayaknya-
minutes, we're gonna see a lot
Kayaknya
of
gua
clicking,
monitornya harus diupdate ini,
and
Bul.
it's gonna come down to the provisioners, man.
Karena
So
gua
people,
lihat
I
di
guarantee you,
OBS-nya buruk, anjir,
all the
tuh.
caravans are filled up on both sides with provisioners going out there to really,
Streaming guanya mah udah
really
bagus
make
ya.
these last 6 minutes count. Oh man, the map is just insane. This game has been insane. Congratulations to both teams making this far, and you know the true grit's gonna show at the end in the next 6
Gila
minutes.
guys ya,
Who's gonna
dikit-dikit
take
dah.
the victory to
Gua mau
go
beli
to the
peredam
finals?
dulu nih. Butuh sejuta.
Yeah,
gua.
and thank y'all. Like he was saying, thank everybody who's viewing the match. We have 2,400 beautiful people in here. Make sure y'all smash that like button if y'all appreciate the stream and the cast, and don't forget to
Setengah peredam
subscribe to
doang
the
ini.
official Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel to catch the finals.
Ayo
and the
macul,
next
macul, guys.
semifinal match that we are going to be casting at
5 menit lagi.
today, and
Selisih
as well as the official
1.300.
First League matches coming up soon. But yeah, with
Naik
5
terus
minutes
Mbah,
left,
naik terus
Red,
itu.
you know, we got Jad holding on for dear life. You know, and JST, this is kind of the interesting point I would say with JST.
Ini struktur
right?
JST nggak bisa kalah ini.
You have to make that decision because the altars are so powerful. I don't know if they can afford to switch
Lihat.
over and send a bunch of provisioners.
Selisih
I really do think the
1.300,
altars are gonna
selisih
need it to
1.300 guys.
kind of reel it in a little bit, you know, but I'm going to be interested to see what the provisions are. I don't remember ever seeing
Apakah
JST
cukup
pop Insatiable Desire.
waktu?
That's the interesting
I did
part,
not- I
and
did not see it.
I'm not sure.
Kita lihat.
Yeah, I did not see it as well. So I don't know because now the lead has grown to about
Kita lihat
1,300
selisih
points in
1.300.
favor of 1v MOBA. So 1v's doing what they need to do, man. And with the Insatiable Desire,
Gile,
what
gile,
we
gile,
called 5
gile.
minutes ago by 1v. I really should just see what provisions like on both sides. Because as
Selisih
I say that, you know, a
1.600.
goes in favor of JST, and they're taking points away from 1v to extend their lead. So man, it's coming down to it's coming down to it, dude. Last 4
Ini
minutes,
macul
everybody.
sih, ini penentunya
Who
dari
is
macul
making
guys.
it to the finals? Who is gonna face either 1254 or new?
Ini harus dari macul ini 1.300 anjir.
Bobo, who you think is coming
Dapat,
out of
guys.
this winning? Right now, 1v's in
JST
winning
dapat.
the match right now, but anything can happen in the next 3 minutes and 45
Anjing
seconds.
sedikit lagi.
Man,
3 menit.
I would say this: if it was anybody other than 1v, I
Selisih
probably
1.000.
would have taken JST. But I know that 1v provisions well, right? So I automatically assume that there will be
Ini
about a
selisih 1.000-an, guys.
4.5 to 5k in provisions.
Gila guys, ini
especially
macul
when we
guys.
utilize that skill for Insatiable Desire.
30 selisih mau
So
2000.
I'd be
Wah
very
berat
surprised if
JST
it
ini harus
wasn't
dapat
under
ini.
that. And usually
Ayo,
you'll start
macul,
seeing the
guys.
monster ticks,
Ini
with
lihat
about a
komendernya
minute,
ampas
minute and a
semua
half,
juga, gengis
depending,
kan.
right? If they have running
Ciao
charge, which I
ciao.
know that
Ini
JST
apa
does,
anjir?
right?
Osiris
That
Grandprix
allows you
apa
that
ini?
opportunity of popping that
Ayo.
skill at the very end to try to bring in all
Ayo,
your
guys.
provisioners so that you get those last
Cowok-cowoknya
additional
sama
seconds.
Honda
I think
guys,
could be
kalian
very
kalau
valuable
punya
instead of a
duit
node.
berlebih ke Honda aja ya. Honda bagus
But,
loh.
you know, it's truly going to come down to the wire. Yeah, 2,000
Dapat,
point
guys.
lead in favor of 1v
2
right
menit
now.
lagi
I'm
JST
interested
dapat.
to see. I don't believe that's from structure, so
Ini
I
baru
would
gua
venture
lihat
to say
kayak
that some
gini
of their
anjir.
provisioners are starting to come
Gila.
in. But JST side,
2000,
we're going to keep our
1000,
eyes. We got 2.5
500.
minutes left in the match. Ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this. I wanna
Lihat
see y'all
apa
in
yang
the
akan
chat
terjadi,
who
guys,
y'all
2
think
menit
is gonna
terakhir.
pull out the victory in the last 2 minutes.
2000 selisih 2000 guys. Makin jauh guys.
More than we could have ever bargained for. This match is truly been
Selisih
an epic
2000.
battle, and I can't wait to see who's going to take the.
Apa
take
yang
the
akan
W in this
terjadi
one.
guys?
dude, my heart's pounding right now.
Ini
I don't know if
Commander
everybody else, my heart's pounding, but right now this is insane. And I'm
guys,
looking
kalian
at
nggak
the
usah
score
mikirin
right now.
Commandernya. Ini mereka itu
For
udah
JST,
sangat
are they
mendetail
positioning?
ya.
Because I've seen 1V's numbers going up.
Ayat,
It was at 200
anjir.
points at one point, and then
Daging
it jumped up
Ishan,
to
ada
2,000, so
ada
they're definitely
Julio
positioning, and they
Cesar.
should be coming in now.
Bal-abal
So,
ini
with
padahal.
the last 2 minutes left, who's gonna take this W? And
Man,
I just wanna
I'm
close my eyes
interested
'cause I'm
to see.
scared.
For
I'm
Mystical
interested to
dikeluarkan.
see these obelisk zones for
Luan
JST.
Honda guys.
Once we get closer to a minute to see
Ya.
how many marches are coming in on
Kali-
their side.
Kalian
Usually
kalau
the
nggak ada
provision
duit
from
jangan
both
mikirin
sides,
Honda dulu lah ya
so
guys.
they have-
Cari
But
prem yang
points,
bagus
but
dulu.
man,
Points, it's 1,000
the points are
now.
coming in. Reeled them into 1,000. Oh, let's head over to the obelisk.
327. Beda 1000.
They cut
Selisih
it down to
1000 guys.
1,000 points.
Selisih
They're reeling
1000.
them in. It's no longer about structures. If they can neutralize them,
Posisi
that's a huge
selisih
W
1000
for
guys.
1v, because
Ayo
we are
ayo
getting to
tarik
that
pacul,
point where they
tarik
will not be
paculer
able to
JST
capture more
JST
stuff.
JST.
But
Ayo
it is
Onep,
down to
bandai
a
Onep.
1,000 point lead in
Beda
favor of
1000
1v
guys.
right now, as the provisioners are going to start coming in with less than a minute, Red.
Oh my god. Yep. 8
Honda sama Supra sama Getter, Omek Deluxe sama-sama kepala Getter itu.
They put their Michael Jordan on.
Beda 500, beda 600 cuy.
Okay.
Paculer
last
harus
37
ditarik.
seconds.
Beda 600, beda 600,
Running charge
beda
against
600 guys.
the moment they need him back.
Beda
Down to 700
600, beda 600.
700 points. Let's go to the obelisk, please. Oh, we want to see this. I want to see the provisioners coming in. It is
Provision
down
point.
Points.
Provision ayo
500
anjir.
points.
Beda
Oh my
200.
god,
11 detik beda 200. 11 detik beda 200. 10, 9.
10 seconds.
Anjing.
Okay,
Gila,
100
anjir.
points. 3.
3, 2, Provision. Provision.
Oh!
Boba, did I see what I did?
Anjing.
1v. Oh!
I'm speechless. I need to see that left.
Anjing selisihnya cuy.
I thought what was this? Oh my god. I am speechless. Everybody right now, I am speechless of what just happened. I felt JSD had
Ini berapa
the lead for,
selisihnya ini?
the last 3 seconds.
Kita lihat selisihnya.
Dude, Bro, I could sit here for 3 minutes in awe. Holy smokes.
God.
Oh my goodness, I told y'all, the last 3 minutes, that running charge, and I really, really hope that was not a missed provisioner oh my goodness, the head.
Gua pengen lihat selisihnya ya.
That was so close, completely down to the wire, and I don't believe JST ever popped
anjir.
Insatiable Desire. And it is very
Ini kita lihat
uncommon.
selisihnya ya
Usually they
guys.
will. So,
Bedanya paling
you know,
200, 100 mungkin
was
ya.
that the difference? Was it provisioners that didn't make it in? Man, Red, you know what I mean? Let's kind of talk a little bit about it. What if we can even catch our breath? Because holy smokes, that last 3 minutes was absolutely intense. What were some takeaways, Red, that you had from the match that we just experienced? Right, I had the privilege of going through between 1V and JST.
I mean, first, congratulations to both teams for an amazing match. One of the best matches we've seen in this
The
Grandprix
best sih
event.
bener kata si Redlin ya.
Boba, I'm still sweating. Maybe because I'm wearing a sweater. I don't
Nah,
know.
ini
but
lebih-
I'm
lebih-
hot because that match was insane. And again, my takeaways for the match is
GG
both
sih.
did an outstanding job.
Anjing,
you
gua
know.
baru
The
melihat
game from
pertandingan.
1V was amazing. JST's ability to control structures.
Gamer tua
both teams
baru
were so
melihat
good, it
pertandingan
came
seperti
down to
itu.
less than 100 points, Boba. That's what's making me going, oh my god, it was less than
Gua
100
pikir
points.
cukup ya untuk
So
pertandingan
both
kali ini.
teams performed phenomenally, and it just 1V came out with the win.
Tapos
That
dulu.
last person.
Gua nggak bisa bahasa Inggris, bedanya. Kira. Gila sih. Gila itu pertandingan cuy. Ngerti gua Gip. Anjing. Si Gip sih anjing. IG guys. Walaupun KPK-nya tipes ya. Walaupun onep KPK-nya tipes guys. Tuh boy anjing yang kayak gini udah tele. Pas. Udah dipasang tower ini. Nggak akan menang ini Onem. Keren banget. Aksesoris perlu ya lah. Ya, aksesoris itu perlu. Legend perlu. Gua naikin 1000 lagi bitrate-nya. Kuat nggak? 1000 bitrate-nya kuat nggak? Wih kuat cuy. Kita bitrate-nya 6000 ini guys sudah bagus. Udah bagus ya streamingnya ya guys. Kalau nggak nge-streamer YouTube lagi udah bagus ini. Bagus ini udah bagus. Udah enak nontonnya ini enak. Nah ini semua Onep. Baru selesai Osiris langsung tipes lihat. Nggak ada perlawanan ini. Nggak ada perlawanan ini kan. Udah nggak kuat itu. Belum ada bintang loh. Belum ada bintang loh kayak. Belum ada bintang guys. Onep udah nggak kuat ngelawan ini. Nggak kuat ini, udah nggak kuat ini guys. Anjir masih 20B. Nah ini murder ball lagi guys, kita lihat ya. Oke guys. Pindah ruangan, Gip. Pindah ruangan. Oke guys, karena kita nonton Om Ngeri ya. Sekarang karena Grandprix-nya udah, sekarang kita nonton ke Om Ngeri ya guys. Pindah. Gua op dulu, kita nonton Om Ngeri ya. Silahkan kita pindah ke channel Om Ngeri ya guys. Ya, kita pindah ke channel Om Ngeri ya. Kita nonton di sana. Oke. Biar rame 45, biar rame, kita lihat di Om Ngeri, kita pindah ke sana ya guys. Oke, makasih semuanya ya yang udah nonton, yang udah like, yang udah subscribe. Kita pindah ke Om Ngeri guys, Ngeri channel, silahkan ya. Kita pindah ke Ngeri channel biar rame ngebahas 45, kita lihat akun Om Angkling kayak gimana. Oke, malam semua.